Formula One's return to Emilia Romagna track Imola for potentially the last time was expected to be dominated by McLaren. But Red Bull's Max Verstappen again proved he has the craft and pace to beat the Papaya squad and its standings leader Oscar Piastri, with the Dutchman stealing the polesitter's lead into turn 2 with an audacious clean move. One that effectively sealed his 4th straight Emilia Romagna win, his 2nd this year and 65th overall, in Red Bull's milestone 400th race to keep himself in the title fight. The reigning F1 world champion came home 6.1 seconds ahead of the McLarens, with Lando Norris in front of teammate Piastri for the first time since Japan, the Brit making the most of his fresher tyres. Verstappen was ecstatic to have the edge on his Papaya rivals, but also benefited from virtual and real safety cars for cheap pit stops. Once we got into the lead, I think we showed what we could do with the pace of the car, and I could push quite nicely, he said. For Norris, 2nd was a psychological win over standings leader Piastri, with the Brit so far bleeding consistency to the Australian and needing a return to form to rebuild his confidence. Oscar and I had a fun battle, Norris said, but we raced each other well and maximized what we could. Piastri kept cool in the aftermath, despite being robbed into turn 1 and again with an early first stop, but had predicted Red Bull would be a force ahead of the Imola weekend.
The main competitor, I think, outside of McLaren will probably be Red Bull. I think they've been strong at the tracks with some high-speed corners. Imola is a bit of a mix of high speed and low speed, but I think they will be strong.
It was heaven and hell for Ferrari, with 4th for Lewis Hamilton, his best Grand Prix result for the team so far, while Charles Leclerc said he just cannot accept starting 11th and finishing 6th. With both red cars out in Q2, and Leclerc isn't expecting much better for the next event, his home race in Monte Carlo. I think Monaco is exposing quite a few weaknesses of our car, so I don't know, he said. Williams did even better at Imola than Miami, with its 3rd straight double points weekend and 14 scored, with Alex Albon 5th for the 3rd time in 2025. Sainz was 8th after his first stop preceded the virtual safety car. Mercedes' George Russell also lost out after overheating rears forced him to pit on lap 11, despite being tucked up behind Piastri into turn 1. His teammate, hometown hero Andrea Kimi Antonelli retired following a loss of throttle control. Red Bull closed out the top 10, with Yuki Tsunoda claiming the final point from a pit lane start following his huge crash in qualifying. The Japanese driver finished behind Racing Bull's driver Isaac Hadjar. To the drivers' standings, and Piastri's lead has been cut to 13 points to Norris. Verstappen is 22 behind the Australian, while Russell's chance to stay in the hunt is fading, the Brit on 99 points. Onto the constructors, and McLaren is running away with the lead, 132 points ahead of Mercedes. Red Bull is 16 behind the Silver Arrows, and Ferrari is holding on to the back of the top 3. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.